Okay, hello. This is Andy Lee Graham. I'm in San Pedro. They call it La Laguna, Lake Atalan, Guatemala, and it's one of the world's most beautiful lakes. And that's probably debatable, but it by far, as best I can tell, the best climate on the planet. Okay, that means that you don't need any furnaces, you don't need any air conditionings. You might need a little room heater when it gets down to about 65 in the morning. Some of us are colder animals than the other. Okay, but I'm Andy Lee Graham, and I'm going to talk today about my essential 35 foods for optimal nutrition. Okay, and I've been studying this for years. Okay, I have a channel called Biohacking, but I only collect playlists on it. I hardly ever make any videos on it. But biohacking. Okay, I want everybody to eat the best possible foods to live, to allow their body to function at the highest possible way. Okay, and that's the problem because I have learned, like, I'm allergic to canned mushrooms. Okay, my lymph glands will swell up. It took me a long time to realize, don't eat a can of canned mushroom. I will have a swelling. I am pretty sure that I'm allergic now to peanuts, which is pretty horrible because I've been the peanut guy for all my life. Ever since I was 5 years old, I've been the peanut guy that ate peanuts. I even got a picture painting of me eating peanut butter, right? But I'm suddenly developed an allergy to peanuts. And I'm going to tell you about 35 foods that I've done it. They're now let me tell you, these foods are mix and match. Okay, what I'm saying by that is, I learn information and then one will come down and one will go up. Okay, what that is, and I'm going to talk about the reason why they go up and down. There's some words here. Okay, but I wish to stop thinking about food, okay, because it's my addiction. I have been as high as 235 pounds. I'm probably at 185 right now. I'm really not sure, but I've been up as high as 235, which was a combination of beer and pizza and potato chips and whatever, right? And I am definitely a guy that when he feels depressed goes by my depression food is, when you know when I'm depressed, is when I'm eating butter pecan ice cream with oatmeal. I love this, okay? And it's my depression food, which is horrible for me, right? Okay, but I want to stop thinking about food. I want to stop being, and the only way to get over this is really to, I don't know, to have no emotional problems, I guess. But as a side note, I'm switching from Jolene Blalock as my muse, my thinking, my obsession, to Candace Owens. This is November something, 28th, 2023. She has become my fantasy. Okay, and every man needs to have a good imagination. Okay, but these 35 foods, these foods are the least likely to annoy your body. And there's a link in the description, and you can follow it, you can read it, and basically you can have something like Hal read it out loud to you so you can understand it. These foods are the least likely to annoy your body, which sounds funny. But if you remove the annoyances in life, what is left over is the great. I call this the remainder man theory. If you get rid of all the dinglings in your life, hey, life is pretty good. Okay, so the art of being happy is to remove the people that annoy you in a way. And people are normally the thing that annoy you. When you get angry at the weather, when you get angry at a tree, when you get angry at even traffic, it's kind of difficult to do it. But I wish to stop thinking continually about food. This is almost the same kind of obsession I had with alcohol or even when I smoked cigarettes. I smoked cigarettes for about 2 years. It is one of the most difficult drugs to give up on the planet. Okay. My biggest challenge. What is my biggest challenge? My biggest challenge is to find a comfort food that I can eat late at night. My greatest challenge in life is to find a comfort food to eat in front of the television with my girl. Oops, not girls. It's plural here. That sounds bad. When I do that kind of thing, don't think it's anything, it's not even Freudian, it's dyslexic. That is healthy, but not fattening, and I want to be my father. My father and me and my mother and everybody would sit in front of the television, watch Bonanza, eat, or The Wizard of Oz, and we would eat popcorn. So popcorn, I don't know, it's potatoes are better than popcorn, okay? But I did add this to the list, okay? But I want to be able to have that intimate moment, relive my father's love and my mother's love, and eat and think. And it's a great experience, okay? You share something with the family. But how do you do this? I don't know. Okay. I don't think I can afford beef jerky, okay? Beef jerky is pretty good comfort food. My mission is to avoid foods. It's not to eat the correct foods. It's basically to avoid the bad ones, okay? This is reverse. This is kind of a Charlie Munger thing. He did a story where he was in the service, the military or something, and he was to protect the pilots from getting shot down. So what he did is he says, how would I go about shooting them down? Okay, so he went in reverse. It's reverse logic. What you do is you say, how will I shoot down the pilots? And then you learn how to protect the pilots, okay? But this is kind of the same thing here. As I'm trying to talk about the foods that I eat, but how do I learn about this? The only way to learn about it is to figure out all the food problems. But no food is just great for you. There's no such thing. Here are some words below that I'm going to start talking about really quick because I don't want to do a deep dive into these. These are words that can use as a filter. When hoping to decide whether to include a food in our diets, we can maybe ask which one of these words apply. I'm not going to do it right now, but the elimination diet, which I think is a stupid word, is the way you do it. I think isolate the food diet. And the only way I can tell you really quick to isolate the food is to eat only one food in a day. And then how do you feel the next day? If you feel really bad, you have a problem with that food. But there's different words that are relevant to your food sensitivities. Allergies, anti-androgen, anti-nutrient, autoimmune disease, not digestible, food intolerance, food sensitivities, gluten, lectin, oxalates. I think the oxalates cause those stones in your kidneys. Some word I can't say, phytoestrogens, phytic acid, plant toxins, salicylate, saponins, trans fats. These are words that are, they basically are words that saying you are having some sort of little problem with these kind of foods. And everybody has a different body. I want you to remember that. Your body is different than an African body, an Asian body. We are different, slight classes of humans. And so what maybe keeps a Japanese person thin is not going to necessarily keep a German thin, right? I'm going to try to lower this just a little. My chin keeps disappearing. Okay. But these are the words, and then this link will be in the description. And I know that anybody on a smartphone, it's pretty hard to get to the description. But that's YouTube, right? Okay, the list of foods to eat. Okay, now this has been some project that I started on maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure, maybe 8 years ago, okay? And the goal is to try to find the foods that are compatible with my body, not your body, my body. But they seem to be the most neutral. Okay. And my YouTube channel is called Biohacking Superfoods. And I'm probably going to change it because I don't know. The word superfood is a problem word in a way. I think biohacking is okay. But you always, your brain evolves. Anybody that doesn't slowly define, I mean, what you want to do is keep defining. Um, you want to define and change the words and become more articulate on what you're thinking about. And I'm always searching for the best way to explain this. And this is kind of again, I'll keep bringing it up. It's the Einstein thing. If you can't explain it to a third grader or a sixth grader, you really don't understand it, okay? But there are foods that are incompatible with you. I mean, everybody has this experience and they don't recognize it. They wake up in the morning with gas, okay? They wake up in the morning with diarrhea. They wake up in the morning with a cold. They wake up in the thing and they eat too many peanuts. They eat too much. We all have it. And you don't see there's a correlation between what you ate and the problem. They want to take, there's people that have taken Tums every day of their life for years, right? Every single day for their life. And they don't sit there and say, maybe if they stopped eating X amount of this type of food, they could be free of this problem, right? So think about that. What food is causing you problems? So this whole list of what I'm coming up with is the ideal food for me and maybe possibly for you. But one of the foods on here is a high allergy food. That's eggs. Okay, and I don't know what to say. You got to know whether you're allergic to eggs, right? But there's foods here that are commonly people have allergies to. Okay, but I'm going to go through the vegetables. The vegetables to eat are broccoli, cabbage, parsley, beets, and spinach. Okay, broccoli, but too much of any of these foods and you're going to have problems. Like I have a lot of problems if I eat too much cabbage. I eat a lot of parsley. I have trouble eating beets because I've never tried to eat them raw. All these foods I eat raw except for beets, I guess. But I hardly ever eat beets because I need them. I sometimes eat radishes, okay? But these are the foods that I try to stick to in the thing. And I try to, when I go to the market, I try to buy one of these foods each day. Now, the bad part is anything I buy, there's too much of it. Well, I can buy just what I need on parsley and spinach, okay? Espinage. Parsley in Spanish is perejil. Okay, but broccoli is broccoli. Okay, cabbage is repollo. Okay, but so those are the vegetables, and I try to eat one of those a day. So really these 35 foods, what I kind of do is pick and choose, and I take one from the group, right? And that's how I go to the market. But again, what is my biggest problem? I need this comfort food at about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night when I turn on the thing and I got this conditionally. I got this Pavlov dog. I sit down, I watch TV. I'm hungry. It's Pavlov's dog. There's a conditioning that happened to me that my brain, the minute I sit down and watch TV, I'm hungry. Okay, the nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds are a little safer. Okay, there's kind of a theory on foods. Most foods, the plant does not want you to eat them, okay? And why would they want them to eat you? You know, you're destroying the plant. So certain foods have lectins and glutens and everything to keep you from doing it. But like an apple, and they want you to eat, the apple maybe wants to be eaten because you put it in your body, then you crap it out, and you plant it somewhere else. So they propagate because you carry it. So walnuts, macadamias, Brazil nuts, coconut, these are the seeds and nuts. Seeds and nuts are different, but seeds want to be carried someplace, and nuts, but you can go into great deep dive on this term, okay? But the best food for nuts or anything and seeds is walnuts. They seem to have the least amount of problem. Macadamia nuts, macadamia. I've been pronouncing this word wrong. A woman corrected me on the boat yesterday. I was sharing my macadamia nuts. Oh man, I've been saying this wrong. I've been pronouncing it with an E. Macadamia in Spanish. But they have it really cheap here on Lake Catalan. So if you're a big aficionado of macadamia, or Brazil nuts are about impossible to buy here. Coconut juice is really good for you. Okay, sesame seeds, I'm debating. But the top three are the ones that you ought to key in on a lot. But if you do a deep dive on walnuts or macadamia, but any of these guys will act like you're supposed to just eat a handful. Have you ever ate a handful of macadamia nuts? I'm like going, guys, if I had that kind of restraint, I was like laughing. It's like if I could only eat one small bag of potato chips, right? Okay, meats, carnivore, whatever. The best food is eggs. You should include the yolk. It's not whatever. Eggs, the yolk's got just as much benefit as the whites, okay? Bacon, pork bacon is really, really healthy for you. Extremely healthy for you. Beef, livers, any kind of organ meat. I'm not going to eat gizzards or hearts, but I will eat the livers of beef and chicken, and turkey, chicken, salmon. These are the meats that I highly recommend, okay? Fruits. This is tough. Every single fruit has an overabundance of sugar. And just because it's a fruit and it's natural doesn't mean it doesn't give you an insulin rush. Diabetes is when you have resistance to sugar, okay? And insulin is an oversecretion, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot to do with your insulin, okay? But how do you get type 2 diabetes? Is because you eat so much sugar that the hormones break down and they don't work anymore. They just basically screw up, and then you're going to have to take insulin as a shot. But to me, type 2 diabetes, not the natural when you was born that way, but the type 2 diabetes is easily cured with intermittent fasting and keto or carnivore. Just go carnivore for 2 months and you'll get rid of probably all the symptoms. But cranberries, really good for you. Pineapple, I'm not going to go into a deep dive on each one of these foods, which is what Health Guy does, right? But if you go to my biohacking channel, a lot of these foods are in there as a playlist, and I'll have 10 different videos underneath each one of them. Bananas. The bananas are the least valuable, but lemons with the peel. You got to eat the peel. My go-to people are Eric Berg, Ken Berry, Stephen Gundry. There's another guy that I can never remember his name, but there's in my biohacking channel, I have 90 different people that I have subscribed to that I consider at some level kind of an expertise. Now, these guys will completely argue with each other, right? What is his name? I forget his. I'll have problems with it. Grains. I really don't know of any grains that are keto friendly or good for you. Maybe popcorn sometimes, and maybe rice. Okay, but generally oatmeal is pretty bad for you. Okay, and wheat is just a total fiasco. Corn is total fiasco for the body. Okay, and here's something that's not that easy, but okay, vinegar and water are really good drinks. Coffee is relatively good in moderation. Most of the teas are pretty good for you. Milk and all these things are really horrible for you. hibiscus tea is good for you. It lowers your blood pressure. Um, Now I'm going to kind of talk about your daily vitamins and your minerals. Okay. And this is, I don't know what you want to call these. They're foods, I guess. They put them in your mouth, you digest them, whatever. And each one of these has value. Cinnamon. I did find out, I was laughing. I was doing a deep dive with OpenAI. OpenAI is really great in the sense that you can say, give me a list of 10 foods that give me diarrhea. Wham! It's much better than Google. And Google is going to get put out of business by the AI companies, right? Because you can get a concise list of what you want to know. Anybody that's an educator that just, they're not going to get put out of business because 90% of people just want entertainment, but the educators are going to go do something else. Okay, but cinnamon, cod liver oil, really good in omega 3s or something like that. But I've been putting cod liver oil on my skin. I'm having a deep dive. I'm trying to figure out how to feed my skin. Dark chocolate. Be very careful on chocolate. You don't play games with your head. It's only dark chocolate, okay? And I eat chocolate here that's raw, and I can't even guarantee it's dark chocolate, right? But it's horrible tasting, okay? Flax seeds, garlic, ginger, hibiscus. This is Jamaica in Spanish. Nutritional yeast, matcha. I've never had much luck with matcha, but it does give you kind of a buzz. I don't know. Nutritional yeast. Matcha is a little difficulty. Nutritional yeast, you got to take it with you. It's got a lot of vitamin B in it. Olive oil. Pepper, black. You put it in with the turmeric, and it accentuates the thing. All of these, and that's what I had a deep dive on this. Every one of these lowers your blood pressure, which means as we get older, we get rid of inflammation and blood pressure. And what does that happen? That's the opposite of Viagra, okay? Viagra and nitric oxide will raise your blood pressure and do it. But I don't know how to deal with this. It's kind of hilarious because as we get older, maybe we need that inflammation, okay? I'm going to make a funny joke there, right? There's a thing called capsaicin or something that's in peppers. That's a thing. And I take dried peppers and I swallow them, okay? And I take garlic, a clove of garlic. I bite the clove of garlic and I do it. Each one of these things has a negative thing. And I've realized that less sometimes is better, okay? Turmeric, curcumin or whatever. That's a very trendy type of food to reload. All these foods, I'll repeat them. Oh, let's see, where'd it go? Sea salt. Sea salt gives you minerals. The reason why you want sea salt is because normal salt has really no minerals. You need trace minerals. So there's like 80 some trace minerals, and I highly recommend, and I don't know what you want to call it. Is it a food? In the United States, I take trace minerals. It's very hard for me to carry as a traveler because it's a liquid. How do you carry liquids without it squirting everywhere in your backpack, right? I can't buy it here. Well, most of these things that I can buy here are so expensive. Like I just looked at magnesium. I'd like to get 3-onate magnesium, but they don't sell that here. But they sell this GMC or whatever. They wanted $45 for a bottle. Hey, when you guys come down to see me, bring me some vitamins because this is outrageous. I will, if you say you're coming down, I don't know. Okay, on a side note, feeding the skin. One of the worst things you can possibly do is put a chemical on your skin. I'm going to say it again. Metals and chemicals are not to be on your skin. Why am I drinking out of a glass? Because it doesn't transfer chemicals or metals into my body. If you drink out of a plastic, they got BPAs. That chemical goes into your bloodstream. You get too much estrogen. then you don't have any male hormones, right? So it's everything is a transfer. Stephen Gundry has a real good thing about plastic dishes, aluminum dishes, iron dishes, and he doesn't address the problem that we have copper pipes and plastic pipes that run through our heating systems, right? How do you get water that is not going to leach out metals and chemicals? But my deep dive I'm doing is how to feed my skin. How can I give it something that makes my skin feel better? Like a lot of you, I made a thing where I had a mark on my skin and there was a little blood thing. It's like the getting old thing, right? And if you can see right now, I'm improving my skin. Why? Okay, because I do a deep dive. When I have any kind of problem, I do a deep dive and I start doing things. How do I do a deep dive? It's simple. I do a Google alert and I like take all the possible combinations of these words like skin spots, liver spots, all these different words. I can even go on OpenAI and say, give me a list of all the words that are something to do with skin problems. And if I can define down, eventually by reading these emails that come in, and reading the articles that come in, most of them are just clickbait, okay? And that's the problem. So after I read all these articles, I start to slice and dice and chunk it down to something I understand. Okay, so doing a deep dive can take, certain subjects like the lymph glands. I have taken this, finally, this guy, Perry Nicholson, finally explained lymph and lymph massage in a way I could understand. I mean, it took me, my mother died, I don't know, what is it, 6 years ago? I was trying to get the doctor to prescribe a lymph massage for her before she died, because it was quite obvious that her whole body was just saturated with junk. It was like settling in her ankles, right? And now I know how to do a complete lymph massage. And I'm going to start. There's a Jeroma girl here on Lake Athlon, and I was sitting there, I was talking to her. Let me give you a lymph massage. She goes, yeah, I'm being cheeky, okay? But I would like to practice on somebody, and I'd like to get some feedback from somebody with the brain, but I'm not going to be capable emotionally of giving massages to very many people, right? They got to be very clean, good shape, body. I'm not a guy that can give a massage to just anybody. Okay, let's see what else it says. Feed the skin. What nutrients can we give into the skin? And there's different ways that nutrients enter the body. And it's not just your mouth. Absorption is going through the skin. The skin is permeable. This is why you can't put chemicals on your body. It permeates. I learned this because I accidentally was doing a test with iodine. I put it on my body. I kept saying, if it disappears within 5 minutes, you have an iodine thing. This is some crazy test, which was not true. And I kept doing it. And finally, the next morning, I wake up and I'm pissing brown. And I scared myself to death. And I go, why am I pissing brown? All that iodine went right into my skin, went right to my urine, right? Transdermal patches. You got these morphine patches. You got these nicotine patches. Obviously, we keep learning, but we don't learn, right? You take things. Nutrient delivery is number 2. Some skincare products are absolutely horrible for you. Do not put anything on your skin that you cannot eat. Everything that you put on your skin that you cannot eat goes into your bloodstream, goes straight to your prostate, in my opinion, to your prostate, I got to say it correctly, colon, your uterus, your pancreas, your liver, and causes cancer. Hydration. How do you get hydrated? I'm worried that taking too long a shower is going to dry my skin out. I think salt water is probably one of the best hydrations, but anybody that's ever swimmed, how do you hydrate your body? You can see when when your hands are when they start to crack, you have a hydration problem. Exfoliation. I have learned that I do not over exfoliate. I do not over lymph massage my body, but I do take a loofah or some kind of scraping material, and I do a lymph massage and an exfoliation at the same time. Highly, 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 highly recommend this. Okay, the things that you can put on your skin is cod liver oil, coconut oil, olive oil, aloe vera, bananas, avocado. There's a whole bunch of them. Yogurt. I don't think yogurts really should be on the list, but cucumber, turmeric. How do you put turmeric on your skin? Strawberries, oatmeal, jojoba oil, honey. These are some things that people put on their skin. And if you can eat it, you can put it on your skin, right? I don't know. I think putting fatty bacon might be the best thing possible to put on your skin. But this list is going to evolve, right? And I'll keep doing a dive until I keep understanding. When I cook, the only two foods that I can cook with, only two oils that I can cook with is the natural oil from the meat, or I can cook with coconut oil or olive oil. There might be a possibility of, there's some other oils like garlic oil, and I don't know. Okay, so I need to learn more on that. But there's this girl yesterday was telling me you need to study emo oil, and I go, something. It was kind of a sexual tension question, right? Hey, okay. Everything I do is done in what I call a propositional style. I'm proposing something, okay? Anybody that talks as if there is a factual basis to all this stuff is just leading you astray. You have to always say there could be a new and better way, okay? But a lot of people will only listen to somebody that talks in teacher mode because they've been trained by their mother and father, they've been trained by the school, they've been trained by the college professor. If they don't have if they don't have a doctor's degree, if they aren't a psychiatrist, if they don't have a label, they are stupid. And there's never been a time in the history of the world where a person could do a deep dive into any subject. But again, humility, proposing. I was trying to come up with a abbreviation for PhD. What did I come up with? It's humility deficit. A person with humility deficit, that's a PhD. They have no humility. They think they're completely without thought. There's never, I mean, think about the PhDs probably in the time of Leonardo da Vinci. They thought the world was flat. Okay, the world changes, but we should always talk in a way that is not an absolute. I mean, philosophers say this, there are no absolute. The sure sign of a fool is a person that cannot, believes that they're always right. Okay, so when you're learning from anybody, try to think of how you are wrong. If you think about why your opinion is wrong, then you might be able to get closer to why your opinion is right. Okay, life is good. And I have some more stuff here: calcium, tofu, iron. Okay, there's vitamins, supplements, minerals, and I think one of the biggest things that people are deficit in is minerals. So if anything you can do to get a supplement, get get minerals and the trace minerals. Okay, I'm here and you're not. Why not? I'm a happy guy. I'm going to make a video soon on traumas, how to recover from traumas. I made a video the other day about things. Anybody that wants a deep dive from my brain is like a bad neighborhood. You don't want to go in it alone. But I love to do research, and anybody would like my opinion on some subject, you just do a donation of $50. It's not really a donation, I guess. It's really you buying a topic, and I'll talk about it for an hour. And some of you want to be anonymous, and there's links and the things on how to do. if anybody writes me, I'm going to keep them anonymous if they want to be anonymous. I just don't want you to be anonymous with me, okay? I think it's a sure sign of a mental issue, okay? Okay, hit that subscribe button. In all the links on my YouTube channel, they don't come out instantly, but any of the older videos, they'll have all these different ways to contact me and things like that. And I like to have friends, and the art of having friends is how do we have a friend? How do we open up ourselves to the world by giving our email and our telephone number and everything like that? And how do we filter it out so that these guys don't get to us? I'm very good at that thing. I open up the world, but I also shut off the trolls. Okay, I'm Andy Lee Graham. Hit the subscribe button, then you hit that little bell thing, and you'll get a notification every time I make a video. Bye-bye. Life is good.